In the next few months, your muscles will be completely broken down and rebuilt. You literally won't be the same person you are today. And that matters because how you look after your muscles determines how long you'll live and, more importantly, the quality of those years. I'm sorry to say it, but the decline has already started, but it isn't inevitable. And most muscle loss isn't because of aging, it's how much protein you eat, how you move your muscles, and probably the biggest thing of all that almost no one thinks about, including most doctors, and I was guilty too. I'll get to that shortly. This is a fascinating topic. Let's get into it. Muscles help us move, and when you're young, they look cool when you're ripped. But what is way more important, and until recently hugely underappreciated, muscles are vital for health and longevity, and they help us in three main ways. Number one, they help you to stay healthy. Muscles are metabolically active. They help regulate your blood sugar. They release signaling molecules called myokines that have a wide range of health-promoting effects, including reducing inflammation, supporting your immune system, suppressing tumors, and promoting brain regeneration. Number two, they help you to stay independent. Frailty isn't a disease, it's largely the slow loss of muscle that, on reaching a certain tipping point, makes simple tasks like climbing stairs, getting up from the floor, a real challenge. And number three, muscle strength helps you to survive health challenges. People with more muscle survive cancer, surgery, and serious infections at significantly higher rates. This is why you'll hear things like grip strength is a longevity predictor. The UK Biobank followed 500,000 people for years and found that every 5 kilograms of grip strength you lose predicts a 20% higher risk of dying from anything. But it's not the strength of your grip that matters. That is simply a surrogate for overall muscle mass and strength. People with good grip strength tend to have strong muscles all over their body. One of the most vivid examples of this in my line of work is the hip fracture in older patients. They occur more commonly in people who have neglected their muscle health over years. These people will tend to have higher rates of illness. They tend to be frailer, so more likely to fall. They have less protection to cushion against the fall, and they don't have the strength to survive the injury. Nearly 1 in 4 people who break a hip will be dead within 1 year. Now, you may feel that's a long way off, you don't need to worry about it right now, but that's a huge mistake you should avoid making. Let's start with one of the most fascinating facts on muscles. They are in constant turnover. Every day, about 1 to 2% of the muscle in your body is broken down and rebuilt. In around 2 to 3 months' time, your muscles are not the same muscles. This makes your muscles really adaptable, and that's why training works, why injuries can heal, why you can build new muscle even in your 80s and 90s. But there's a problem during middle age. Life gets busy, you have different priorities, you tend to do less than you did in your younger years. Perhaps you spend more of your day at a desk. Maybe your protein intake has drifted down, which it tends to do as we age. Now, your body is brilliant at keeping what it thinks you need and quietly removing what it thinks you don't. If you give it less raw ingredients, the protein, and use your muscles less, you tip the balance towards muscle loss. The net result, from around the age of 40, you start losing about 1% of your muscle every year. And the thing is, you won't notice for a long time. You can still do everything you currently need to do. Stairs are fine, shopping is fine. Until one day you notice you can't run for the bus the way you used to, and then a few years later, the stairs feel a little different. And then somewhere in your 70s, you reach that tipping point we spoke of. If you take nothing else from this video, it is this. The decline is happening now. You won't feel it until it's much harder to reverse. And so the work has to start now when nothing seems wrong. And I'm going to show you the 3 key steps to take to avoid this decline really soon. But there's something really interesting to tell you first. There is something else that speeds up muscle decline, and most doctors don't appreciate this, including myself, until recently. That same fast turnover that allows your muscles to adapt also makes it catastrophically vulnerable during short periods of illness. Here's what we know. Just 2 days of bed rest causes measurable muscle loss, 7 days, 5%, 10 days of bed rest in older adults, about a kilogram of leg muscle lost, and illness makes it even worse. In intensive care, where inflammation aggravates the breakdown, patients can lose nearly 18% of their thigh muscle in 10 days. That's the equivalent of years of normal aging in just a matter of days. And here's the part that really matters. Without active rehabilitation, you don't get all of it back. Each episode leaves a small permanent loss, then 5 years later the next thing happens, a few years later after that another thing. By the time someone in their late 70s is struggling to get out of a chair, what they're feeling isn't really aging, it's the years of underusing their muscles plus the cumulative damage of 3 or 4 bouts of illness that nobody told them mattered. Healthcare systems for a long time did not appreciate this, and many still don't. But there's 2 additional things that healthcare systems don't do well. When people are sick, they need more protein, on average around 1.2 to 1.5 grams per kilogram per day. But when researchers actually investigated how much patients get in hospital, they discovered it was on average around 0.65 grams of protein per kilogram per day, less than half of what is recommended. Hospital food is not normally the most nutritious, patients often don't eat it, and nobody thinks to intervene. And secondly, the aim of the healthcare system is to get people home, just fit enough to manage. But healthcare systems are seldom thinking about optimizing muscle health before, during, and after hospital stays. Things are starting to improve, and I've made big changes to my own practice here, but we are a long way off being perfect. But now you know why this matters, let's discuss what you can do about it. So finally, some good news. There are only a few things you need to do, none of them particularly complicated. Number 1, throughout life, get enough protein. For most healthy adults over 50, the target is at least 1.2 grams per kilogram of body weight per day, and more, as we said, when you're unwell. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but I don't find numbers like 1.2 grams per kilo particularly helpful. What does that even mean? What does it actually look like on a plate? Well, I recently interviewed Professor Luc van Loon, one of the world's leading protein researchers. He had more practical advice. Aim for 25 grams of protein every meal. And he gave examples of what 25 grams of protein looks like on a plate. Half a litre of milk, 2 to 3 eggs, a piece of meat or fish about the size of a deck of cards, a cup of nuts. Now, most people get enough at dinner, not quite as much at lunch, and often fall way short at breakfast. Toast and coffee just won't get you there. But it doesn't require dramatic changes, just some thoughtful additions, such as some Greek yogurt and nuts, for example. And if you find it hard to hit the targets through food alone, a protein supplement at one meal works fine. Whey, casein, or pea protein, which I use, are all good options. Number 2 is strength training. Protein provides the building blocks for muscle, the amino acids, and interestingly, eating protein stimulates muscle growth on its own. But there is significantly more impact when paired with strength training. That is the signal telling your body, I want you to keep what I have and build more, please. And here's the interesting thing for strength training, and it's the same for all exercise types. The benefits for health is not a straight line. It is actually curvilinear, which means you get significantly greater gains at the start, going from nothing to something. And then it flattens. So more is better, but with diminishing returns. And it doesn't have to be heavy. The signal that matters is making the last few reps difficult at whatever weight is appropriate for you. So do not discount small gains. And I'll give you my own personal example. I don't love strength training, but I know it's good for me. And I also know I would find it hard to keep it up if it was overly long or unpleasant. And the key to healthy living is consistency over intensity. Doing something for the rest of your life is better than doing a huge amount and then giving it up after a while. So for me, I do 10 key exercises covering the main muscle groups, a single set to failure of each with dumbbells at home. Takes about 16 minutes twice a week. That's it. If you can't make it enjoyable, make it easy. And this is part of my simple exercise plan, which has helped me shed 20 kilograms, reverse my metabolic age by 8 years, and build my skeletal muscle mass at the same time. If you want to find out how I did it and how you can too, there's a free guide in the pinned comment and description below. And here's something else encouraging. Muscle can be built at any age. There are studies in nursing home residents in their 90s showing meaningful strength gains in 8 to 12 weeks. If they can do it, you can too. And finally, number 3 is protecting your muscles during periods of illness. This is the one that is least appreciated, but maybe the most important of all. If you do points 1 and 2 consistently from today, then you will be better prepared for when you fall ill. And you now know that you need more protein, around 1.5 grams per kilogram. Add some Greek yogurt, nuts, eggs, lentils. Get your family to bring you some high protein snacks. It's very likely the hospital food won't provide enough and the staff may not think about it. And as soon as you can move, move. Don't wait until you feel completely better. Short walks, light resistance, every little bit slows the decline and starts to rebuild what is lost. And then when you're fit again, getting back to regular strength training and regular protein with each meal should get you back to where you were. Now, 3 things to flag. Plant-based eaters. There's quite a bit of discussion around whether a plant-based diet provides enough protein. The bottom line, you can absolutely build and maintain muscle on a plant-based diet, but it takes a little more attention than eating animal protein. And there are 3 main reasons. Plants have less protein per gram of food, so you need to eat more of it. Your body absorbs plant protein slightly less efficiently than animal protein. And while plants do contain all the essential amino acids, most plants are low in 1 or 2 of them. Grains tend to be low in 1, beans in another, for example. So the fix is variety and quantity. Eat more plants and eat more types of plants. Your body doesn't care where the amino acids come from. You just need to ensure you provide all the amino acids it needs. Kidney disease. If you have known kidney disease, talk to your doctor or a renal dietitian. In advanced kidney disease, the kidneys can't process protein waste products as efficiently, so eating too much can put extra strain on them. The right level depends on your stage of disease, which is why this is a conversation for your doctor, not a YouTube video. And GLP-1 medications. This is a huge topic right now. Drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy are now widely used for weight loss, and a significant portion of the weight people lose in them is muscle, up to 40% in some studies. And we don't yet fully understand the long-term consequences, but there is genuine fear that it may be harmful. If you're on one of these, you must ensure that you are eating adequate protein and doing strength training. So looking after your muscles is one of the most important things you can do for your long-term health. The decline has started, you won't notice it, and that's part of the problem. But you need to take action today to slow and even reverse it. And it's not complicated. Get your protein at every meal, particularly breakfast and lunch. 2 short strength sessions a week, around 30 minutes total is enough, though more is still great. And when life knocks you sideways, eat more, not less, and move sooner than you think you can. That is it. If you enjoyed this, check out my video on creatine, which can further amplify muscle building. I've actually recently started taking it myself. There's a link on screen now. And subscribe so you don't miss future videos. I focus on cutting through the noise and focusing on the science of what actually matters. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.